Last Saturday, I walked 3 used lots within 10 miles. I counted 14 SUVs in the back row, dusty, 2 markdown stickers on the windshield, salesperson walking past without a glance. Every single one of them was built before manufacturers decided every SUV needed a turbocharger that fails at 90,000 miles, a touchscreen that freezes in the cold, and a step-in height that requires grabbing the doorframe with both hands just to get inside. At the third lot, I watched a salesman steer an elderly couple toward a $45,000 crossover with a 3-cylinder turbo and cloth seats. The woman had to grip the doorframe with both hands to climb in. She was struggling, and the salesman wasn't even watching. That's why this video exists. I'm going to show you 5 SUVs sitting in those back rows right now, all under $15,000, all with engines that don't require a computer science degree to maintain, and all built for a real human body rather than a marketing brochure. The one at number 1 has a step-in height so low that a retired teacher with 2 hip replacements sat down into the driver's seat. Didn't climb, didn't pull, just sat, and didn't say a word for 30 seconds. We're going from good to the one I'd buy for my own mother. Number 5. Ford Escape 2008 to 2012. Most people walk right past this one on the lot. That's the only reason it's still affordable. The 2008 to 2012 Escape with the 2.5-liter 4-cylinder is a pre-EcoBoost Ford. That matters more than anything else about it. Before Ford decided every engine needed a turbocharger, they made naturally aspirated 4 cylinders that mechanics didn't dread. Timing chain, not a belt. Port fuel injection, no carbon buildup. No variable cam phasers waiting to fail at 80,000 miles. The same engine family went into the Ranger and the Fusion and kept running in both. RepairPal rates this generation at 4 out of 5 for reliability. Average annual repair cost around $600 on paper, but real-world shop cost on a well-maintained one runs closer to $350. The senior-specific case is straightforward. Low step-in, real cargo hatch, not a tiny liftgate opening. Easy to see out of because this generation's A-pillars are thinner than almost anything Ford builds today. One customer, 67 years old, recently widowed, budget of $5,500, bought a 2010 XLT with 102,000 miles for $5,200. Drove it home that afternoon. 12 months later, total repairs were 1 battery and 2 oil changes. His exact words, "Getting in and out of it is easier than any vehicle he's ever owned." 3 things to check before buying. First, inspect the rear subframe and cradle mounts for rust, especially any northern state example. Second, check the throttle body for carbon gum around 90,000 miles. An $80 cleaning fixes it. Third, skip the hybrid version completely. Battery replacement is $4,000 and there's no recovering from that at this price point. This Escape is the entry point. If your budget is under $6,000 and you need something tomorrow, this is where the list starts. Number 4. Honda CR-V 2007 to 2011. Here's the thing about the 3rd generation CR-V that most buyers miss entirely. Honda over-engineered this engine for reasons that have nothing to do with the CR-V specifically. The 2.4-liter K24 4-cylinder was developed for the Accord and the Acura TSX. Honda put a sports sedan engine into a compact crossover and never explained why. The result is a powertrain running at about 60% of what it was built to handle, which is exactly why mechanics who know this platform have watched it cross 280,000 miles on nothing but oil and filters. No turbocharger, no direct injection. Timing chain. 190 horsepower from a naturally aspirated engine that Honda refined across multiple platforms before it ever went into this vehicle. The senior-specific features on this one are specific enough to matter. The doors open nearly 90 degrees, relevant for anyone with hip or knee issues who needs the door out of the way completely before sitting down. Seat-to-ground height, right around 19 inches. And the A-pillars on this generation are narrower than almost any compact SUV in its class, which for an older driver worried about parking lot blind spots is not a minor detail. A retired nurse, 70 years old, budget of $9,000, bought a 2010 EXL with 88,000 miles for $8,400. 18 months later, she had driven 22,000 miles. Total repairs, one oil pan gasket at $180 and one set of brake pads. RepairPal gives this generation a 4.5 out of 5. One of the highest scores ever given to any compact SUV. 3 things to check. First, on all-wheel drive models, check the rear differential fluid. Honda's dual-pump fluid needs changing every 30,000 miles, and most owners never did it. Second, listen for a rattle on cold start. 3 seconds is normal. VTC actuator noise. It should clear. Anything longer is a $400 repair. Third, get the EXL trim specifically. The leather is easier for older joints to slide on, and the power driver's seat is the feature most senior buyers end up being most grateful for. Number 3, Toyota 4Runner 2003 to 2009. This one is not a crossover, that's the point. A real ladder frame underneath. Body-on-frame construction that absorbs road stress through the chassis rather than the passenger compartment. The same architecture that made the Land Cruiser famous, wearing 4Runner pricing on a used lot. The 1GR FE 4-liter V6 produces 236 horsepower, naturally aspirated, paired with a 5-speed automatic Toyota uses in Land Cruisers. That transmission doesn't break. I'll say it plainly, I've personally watched a 2005 4Runner cross 340,000 miles on its original drivetrain. A 73-year-old retired contractor, budget of $13,000, refusing to give up his Tahoe even though climbing in had become dangerous, sat down in a 2007 SR5 V6 with 134,000 miles. His first reaction, I forgot SUVs could feel like a car. 2 years later, he's at 161,000 miles. Repairs, 1 serpentine belt and regular oil changes. 3 things to check. First, confirm the lower ball joint recall was actually performed. Look it up by VIN before you even test drive it. Second, inspect the frame at the rear. Spring purchase for rust on any northern state truck. Rust that can turn a clean truck into scrap. Third, test the rear hatch glass. The power window in the hatch fails on these and it's easier to catch before you own it. Specific buying tip, get the SR5 V6 in 2-wheel drive. The V8 trim sits 4 inches taller for no reason that matters here, and the V6 will outlive the owner regardless of which one you pick. Number 2. Lexus GX 470 2003 to 2009. Before you say a Lexus is out of the budget, that's exactly what the dealership is counting on you to think. The GX 470 is a Toyota Land Cruiser Prado with a Lexus badge and a nicer interior. Same ladder frame, same drivetrain, same 2UZFE4 0.7-liter V8 that powered the Land Cruiser 100 series and the original Tundra. This engine is on the shortlist for the most reliable V8 any manufacturer has produced in the last 30 years. Iron block, iron cylinder sleeves, naturally aspirated, port fuel injected. 6,500-pound tow rating. Built for the Australian outback and the Middle East, meaning American highway use is genuinely easy work for it. A 69-year-old retired airline pilot, knees destroyed from 40 years of cockpit climbing, budget of $15,000, bought a 2008 GX 470 with 112,000 miles for $14,200. 14 months later, 31,000 miles driven. 1 repair, a steering rack boot. His exact words in a text message, "This is the nicest vehicle I have ever owned, and I have owned BMWs." The one failure point, and it's a real one, is the rear air suspension. Test it before you buy anything. Turn the key and listen for the compressor running longer than it should. Park it overnight and check if the rear is sagging in the morning. Airbag replacement runs about $1,400 per side at a shop. Or convert to coil springs for about $800 total and never think about it again. The ideal scenario: Find one where the previous owner already did the conversion and ate the cost. That vehicle exists on the market. It's worth looking for specifically. One more inspection item. The 2UZ engine uses a timing belt, not a chain. Service interval is 90,000 miles. No proof of service in the history means deduct $800 from your offer before you shake hands. Number 1. Toyota Highlander. 2008 to 2013, V6. Not the hybrid. Toyota's internal engineering target when they revised this generation's A-pillar geometry was the buyer over 60. That's not my framing. That was Toyota's stated objective. The step in height is 19 inches, the lowest of any 3-row SUV ever produced. The 2GRFE 3.5-liter V6 is the most produced and most proven V6 in Toyota's history, the same engine in the Lexus RX 350, the Venza, the Sienna. 270 horsepower, naturally aspirated. Timing chain, port fuel injection, paired with a 6-speed automatic refined across millions of fleet miles. Multiple owners I personally work with have crossed 250,000 miles on factory drivetrains with nothing beyond routine maintenance. A 71-year-old retired school teacher, 2 hip replacements. Her son drove her to my shop because she could no longer get out of her Explorer without help, budget of $13,000, bought a 2011 Limited Phi 6 with 91,000 miles for $12,800. The day she picked it up, she sat down into the driver's seat. Didn't climb, didn't grab the frame, didn't brace herself. Just sat. She stayed there for 30 seconds without saying anything. Then she looked at me and said, "I just sat down. I didn't climb. I didn't pull. I just sat down." That was 2 years ago. She is now at 124,000 miles. Total repairs, 1 cabin air filter, 2 oil changes a year, 1 battery. She told me last month she is planning to drive it until she stops driving. RepairPal gives this generation a 4.5 out of 5, among the highest scores of any midsize SUV ever rated. 3 things to check. First, and this is the critical one, look at the VVTi oil line on the top driver's side of the engine. Some 2008 to 2010 models had a rubber section that could fail badly. Toyota issued a recall and replaced it with a steel line. If you see rubber, the recall was never done. Factor $300 into the offer. Second, check the rear cargo area for water intrusion. The rear hatch seal fails on these and can soak the spare tire well without making noise about it. Third, test the third-row seat folding mechanism. They stiffen around 100,000 miles, but a can of WD-40 usually handles it. Buying tip, target the 2011, 2012, or 2013. Limited trim. Those years got improved transmission programming, better leather, and the memory seat function, the single most important comfort feature for any senior buyer who shares the vehicle with a spouse. 5 SUVs in back rows across America right now, marked down twice, ignored. The Escape that a 67-year-old widower drives easier than anything he's ever owned. The CR-V with a sports sedan engine that a retired nurse has put 22,000 miles on for $180 in repairs. The 4Runner whose retired contractor said he forgot SUVs could feel like a car. The GX47, that a retired airline pilot called the nicest vehicle he's ever owned, beating out BMWs and a Highlander built for a buyer over 60, on purpose by Toyota's own stated objective, that a woman with 2 hip replacements sat down into for the first time and didn't say a word for 30 seconds.